Hello, fellow mural artists. I've seen a lot of artists asking about airbrushing, and some of you haven't used one, and they're inquiring what a good setup is for first model. I'm just going to show you what I do. Doesn't mean it's the best way, but it works for me, and I'll show you my setup. I'll try to keep it basic. So this is my go-to airbrush. This is a Badger 155. It is a dual action. That means you press down for air, back for paint. The paint goes in here. Put paint in here, goes in here. And then this is connected to your air source compressor. And then you paint. Something like this will do a size like this. You can do all with an airbrush. Okay. This is a Badger. Okay. A lot of people recommend Iwata, which is great. I started with Iwata, used it for many years. And there's nothing wrong with Iwata. Eclipse model is the same as this. But I find on the Iwatas, the nozzle, which is this part here, tends to split very easily. And once the nozzle splits, and they cost about $30, you can't get fine lines anymore. On Badger models, they're much more durable. Okay, that's the biggest reason I prefer a Badger. But nothing wrong with Iwata. Excellent airbrush. Okay. Now, when you're painting murals, you're going to need something bigger because an airbrush is great for small details. But when you're doing a large mural, like oftentimes I don't even use any airbrush. So there's a mid-sized gun. This is you could call it a touch-up gun. This model here is an ANI. This is the 160T. This is good because I can still run it off my same compressor. Okay. There's bigger spray guns, which are great for doing larger area, but you're going to need a bigger compressor, more CFM. I'm not going to get too much detail about that. If you want to know, I could answer that as well later on. Another thing, please, you got to wear a respirator, not just a mask. Dual cartridge respirator. Make sure it fits properly on your face when you're spraying, especially if you're inside. Overspray will go everywhere. Don't underestimate it. I actually like to roll a lot, especially if you're indoor, and then you could spray details on top. Okay. This here, this is a turbine gun, so it's different. It doesn't run on a compressor. There's a Fuji model. It's an older model, it still works. And it's HVLP, means high volume, low pressure. So it's going to run on a different system. It's connected. The whole air will go here. The paint goes in here, and it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It's pretty loud actually, but it's a totally different unit. But it also is another great thing to use. Now, if you're doing huge walls or base coats, you're going to want an airless sprayer. Graco is a great make. Titan, Wagner's on the lower end, but they're still okay. And that's if you want to spray a good thick base coat. You don't have to strain the paint at all. I didn't mention with the spray guns, you do have to thin it down. I spray Nova Color through here. I spray Nova Color through my airbrush. You thin it down. I put some. Actually, can use some water. Distilled water is best, and you could use a bit of isopropyl alcohol as well. A painter taught me that. And you can spray it through an airbrush. Yes, you can. The bigger the nozzle, the better. And that's another reason that I don't like Iwata, is because the thicker body paint will split the nozzle more easily, I found. So I hope that helps a little. I try to keep it as basic as I can. I think as a mural artist, being able to spray, whether using spray cans is awesome. I don't use them, but a lot of amazing artists use spray cans, airbrush, spray gun. Incorporating with your brushing and rolling techniques, you get so much more that you're able to do. So you should try to learn it if you can, and hope this helps. That's just my recommendation. I love Badgers. Iwata is also excellent. Pasha is also excellent, but that will help you out. I'm going to show you my compressor quick as well, because that's very important. Okay, so this is my compressor. This is a Husky brand. You get them at Home Depot. This is a 1 horsepower. You can see that it's a 4.6 gallon, and it's actually pretty quiet. I'm going to turn it on. Now I know that sounds pretty loud because the camera's close, but it's pretty quiet. A lot of customers are, especially when they're contractors, they're always surprised how quiet it is. Really great model, and I can run my airbrush and both of those spray guns as well. If you're running a bigger spray gun, you're going to need a bigger tank, more horsepower. But when you're just doing small things, another reason I like to roll my backgrounds, because you get the base coat layer, and then you're not blasting away using a high volume of air. So this one works really good. I got about 3 of these. They're excellent. One more tip for a small touch-up gun. You can get guns like this. Here in Canada, there's a store called Princess Auto. In the States, it's like Harbor Freight, and usually go on sale. Like this one sometimes go on sale for $15. Now, believe it or not, you can actually get this, actually a pretty good gun. And, you know, yeah, it's not going to last as long as like a $1,000 SATA, which I have as well, and they're awesome. But if you happen to drop it, you're not going to worry so much. And honestly, you'd be surprised how well these guns. I've done whole murals, like a portrait, about 10 by 10 foot portrait with a gun of this size, and you can do the whole thing with it. So that's if you're on a budget. If you're learning, you might want to pick up one of these before you spend $1,000 on a really good spray gun.